Hey everyone, today I'm going to make kind of a different video, and it's different because it's not going to be an unboxing of some DVD or Blu-ray I picked up at a store. Instead, I'm going to show you my Toon Disney VHS tapes that I converted to Blu-ray and also to digital copies. I made a video showing my complete collection of DVDs and Blu-rays. It was a really long video, probably the longest video on my channel, and I just basically quickly went through everything that I own. And so in that collection I showed these home movies that I made when I was basically I think in 6th grade or so, so that would have been like 2002 or 2003, somewhere around there, when I had cable TV. And at that time I was just really into Toon Disney and the cartoons they were showing at the time, so I just wanted to record them all because I knew basically the way it worked in my family is we would get cable TV like in spurts, so every couple of years we'd have it and then it would just kind of go away when, you know, money was tight or whatever. So didn't have it all the time, and I knew that, you know, I had it for a while and I knew that it would go away again, so I wanted to have all these cartoons so that I could just watch them all the time. So what I did is, during the summer and also kind of the time around the summer of 6th grade, I think it was 6th grade, I recorded basically everything that I could from Toon Disney, just all the cartoons that I liked and even a few that I didn't like, just so I could have a sampling of them. I was just really into it. That was my big summer project. And so anyways, when I made that video on my channel here where I showed my entire collection, a few people were asking me about these homemade Blu-rays that I have and also these VHS tapes. So I'm just going to show you guys everything that I have and kind of tell you the story all about that. So, and I already kind of started the story, so that's where these VHS tapes come from. These are the ones I made when I was approximately in 6th grade, recording them from Toon Disney. So yeah, it was really intense. Basically, that's what I kind of did for the whole summer, I guess. I mean, I wasn't like totally lazy. I did stuff outside, but I'm not gonna lie, I spent a lot of time recording cartoons and watching cartoons. So yeah, and I got all these videos to show for it, and up to this point I'm really happy that I did it because a lot of these shows haven't been released on DVD up to this point, and who knows if they ever will, so I can still enjoy a lot of these cartoons. So certainly very happy about that. So anyways, I'm going to kind of show these out of order, but basically what I called this collection that I made is the Best of Toon Disney Channel. So this is my volume 9, and yeah, it's kind of embarrassing to show these. This is the work of a 6th grader basically, so it's really crappy. Like, look at that. I tried to remake the Toon Disney logo, sort of, but it was really lazy. Like, I don't know, it's pretty crappy, but yeah, basically I just printed off the logo and I printed off this clip art of Lloyd in space, and then here's like the spine and everything, and yeah, that's the back, and just cut out clip art of various things. And I used 6-hour tapes for the most part. I used some 8-hour tapes too, and I had one 9-hour tape. All of them recorded in the SLP mode so that I could get the most content on one tape. But yeah, I just built blank tapes. And I went really hardcore, like I said, like even there are no commercials on these at all. So when I was recording, I like figured out the VCR so that I could stop it just right so that there wouldn't even be like a hint that there was ever commercials, except for like a little blip wherever that they, you know, commercial breaks would be. Like I would stop it and start it just at the most perfect times. So like I did a lot of work recording these. Like, it was really intense, and kind of not proud of the time I wasted, I guess, back in the day, but at the same time I still get to enjoy these cartoons, so that's pretty cool too. So yeah, volume 9 I had, and I had a volume 8, and there's Quack Pack on there, and I just had, I recorded all the cartoons randomly, so whenever they were on and whenever I had time to film. Like these first ones, like the first 10 volumes have some of the newer cartoons, and that's because I was in school at the time, so I could only record the shows during the afternoons and early mornings. So like shows like The Weekenders, Recess, Legend of Tarzan, all the Jetix era stuff. Yeah, like they had all the old shows on during the day when I was at school, so I didn't get to record those until that summer, so those are like these later videos. I don't know, it's kind of confusing, but I think I'll just try and go a little bit fast here and show you guys these. They're not real interesting. I mean, I made these when I was really little, so, but at least these will show you where these Blu-rays came from anyway. So these are my best of Toon Disney stuff. Again, 6 hours, so I did a lot of recording. Almost all of these ones are 6-hour tapes. There's volume 5, and then 4. Or no, wait, I had them out of order. This is 6, and this one is 4. And then volume 3. Volume 2, you can see I was a little more decorative in the beginning. I had more pictures on there. And here's volume 1. This is the first one that I made. The first one, I should say, this is kind of technically volume 2. I'll explain that in a second, but yeah, this is the first one anyways. And then I have an Ed, and Eddy one. This was my favorite Cartoon Network show, so I also made just one tape of Ed, and Eddy. This is actually an 8-hour tape. And technically, this was the very first one I ever did. I just concentrated on one cartoon at first, so Lloyd in Space. Look at this cover. It's pretty hilarious to look at right now, but Disney's Lloyd in Space. Like, I tried to recreate one of the scenes from the intro, so there I drew Lloyd and the background. It's pretty atrocious, I know, but that's 6th grade artwork you see right there. So there's the spine I made, again, the same kind of deal. And then the back where I wrote 21 great episodes. I kind of tried to make it look like it was something that was sold in stores. Like, I don't know, that's just how it was. But I got 21 episodes on this 8-hour tape. Walt Disney Home Video 2003. So there, I even put the year that I made this. So that was the summer, 2003. Toon Disney Channel. It's really hilarious just to look at this. But I used the blank tape cover, and I actually just used that to make this. So yeah, there it is, Lloyd in Space. That is the first one. And then it's hilarious. I'm going to take these ones off. And then I have volume 17. Just really lazy. You can see how lazy I got towards the end there. Volume 16. And the funny thing, like about volume 17 and beyond, you can see it says 5 hours and 40 minutes, so it's not a 6-hour tape. I ran out of money and I ran out of tapes, so I started using like other tapes. Like this one here is, well, technically it was going to be volume 20, but I made a mistake, so it's kind of like a bonus tape. But you can see America's Railroads was an old tape that we had, and I just took it and recorded over it. Anyways, and like this is the very last tape. I made this one. This is just a 30-minute tape, but I used SLP mode, so it's like an hour and a half or something of cartoons. This was the very last one I made right before I was about to move, and cable would be gone for many, many more years. So this was the last one that I made with just a few cartoons. I think this would be what you would call volume 20, and this one was 19, and this one was 18. So yeah, America's Railroads, I just taped right over those things. But anyways, and also, these ones, you can see how lazy I got towards the end. I was going to make covers for them and everything. Never did it. So the last few volumes never got any covers made. Volume 16. And I did have, this one's a 6-hour tape. There's a few 8-hour tapes in here too. I should show you this too. This is hilarious. This is how I made the tapes. Basically, we had some VHS tapes in the family. I just flipped the covers around and then taped them all shut. So like this is an old VHS tape called Hide 'Em in Your Heart that I used to watch when I was a really little kid. Just kind of a Christian movie with, you know, songs and everything for little kids. Turned the thing around, made this cover, and that's how it is for all the rest of these tapes. Volume 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, and then finally 10. 10, I made this one kind of special because I called it the Best of Toon Disney Presents, the Volume 10 9-hour marathon or whatever, so I was just kind of excited that I made it to a volume 10. This is on 9-hour tape, the longest tape, and I think a 9-hour tape is like the longest VHS tape you maybe can get. Like as you can see, there's a ton of tape in there, and Radio Shack sold these for like $10 each, these blank 9-hour tapes. So I bought one 9-hour tape. So that was kind of fun to do. So yeah, basically that is the source of many of these homemade Blu-rays that I'm going to show you. So that big introduction is where I'm getting to these Blu-rays, which somebody asked to see. So yeah, I showed you my Ed, and Eddy tape. That went into this Blu-ray, and I decided to use Blu-ray because I got a Blu-ray burner on my first laptop that I got, and I got that Blu-ray burner in that laptop specifically so I could make these, because I know that Blu-rays, you can hold a lot more content on them as compared to DVDs. So I've got a Blu-ray burner, spent a lot of money on that. Then I spent a lot of money on Blu-rays and these cases and everything, and I made these. And I made the covers in Photoshop. I got like a little template that I downloaded online, and then you just basically drop some images in and some text boxes and logos and everything like that, and after some work have a nice looking cover actually. So like this is, it says 23 plus 1 episodes, so it has 23 episodes of Ed, and Eddy, and then I had a bonus episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog inside of here as well. But yeah, it's just some episodes that I recorded on that blank tape. Recorded some Ed, and Eddy. There's the spine. I think I actually did a really good job on these Blu-ray covers. I'm actually pretty proud of that. Like you can see there, there's Ed and everything. Like I tried really hard to make these look professional, so I think they turned out pretty good for the most part. Nothing compared to anything that's released professionally, like where people are actually getting paid to make quality cases, but just for a homemade case, I think it turned out really good. So yeah, this is my Ed, and Eddy one, and I didn't do anything like disc artwork because I don't have a label maker or anything, so I just Ed, and Eddy 23 episodes plus 1, and yeah, just kind of basic there, but there it is. There's the Blu-ray. You can see where it was burned and how much space is left for this Ed, and Eddy one. And the first and second seasons of Ed, and Eddy were released commercially before I made this, so any of the episodes from those seasons that I recorded on my VHS tape, I just got rid of those. So all the episodes on here are from season 3 and beyond, so it's kind of cool. I don't know if those will ever get released on DVD because they only released the two seasons of Ed, and Eddy on DVD, and they haven't gone any further. So if they don't ever do it, at least I have this. So I'll set that one off to the side. And I also have this Smoky Mountain one. Smoky Mountain, I should show you at least one of the tapes. So here's a tape. Smoky Mountain Gospel, and you can see it's got a guitar and a fiddle, banjo, and a dobro there. I'm a banjo player, and I grew up with bluegrass. Very important part of my life, something I enjoy very much. And these Smoky Mountain tapes were released by a company called Brentwood Music in the 90s, and basically what they are bluegrass songs that are, you know, they cover gospel songs and hymns and everything like that. So these are all gospel hymns, whatever you want to call them, and they're played with bluegrass instruments, and I just really enjoy these very much. And what you see on the screen is like they have nature scenes and everything like that. So yeah, this is another thing that I grew up watching as a kid. So there's Smoky Mountain Gospel, and then like here's another one called Smoky Mountain Sunday. They're the same kind of thing, all of these. And then like here's Smoky Mountain Hymns Volume 4. I'm not going to show you all of these, but anyway, so none of those were ever released on DVD. So again, I was looking for a way to make digital files of those, so you know, once the VHS tapes degrade, I'm not left with hanging without those, because I don't know if they'll ever be released on DVD. So I got Smoky Mountain. I made a cover and everything, just got this image off of Google, thought it looked kind of nice. So you can see in here it includes DVD and Blu-ray. I just made a DVD and a Blu-ray so I can make a combo pack. Isn't that fun? There's the spine. And then on the back I just have the images of the VHS tapes. I have Smoky Mountain Hymns Volume 3 and 4. Smoky Mountain Hymns 1 and 2 were actually released on DVD, so they did release a few of these, but they didn't really continue past that. So yeah, so I got those 6 titles here. And if you open up the case, there's the Blu-ray and there's the DVD. I actually made these inserts with song lists and everything, so yeah, I spent a lot of time on these Blu-rays because I thought that they would be the final copy that, you know, after I make these I can get rid of the VHS tapes forever. As it turns out, just for the heck of it, I'm still keeping them. May get rid of them someday, but this wasn't actually the final thing I did. I'll talk about that in a second, but either way, I have these Blu-rays. Finally, I'll talk about my Toon Disney ones. So I have 3 sets here, the best of Toon Disney Channel discs 1 through 5, and I just basically have everything on those 20 VHS tapes. Actually, it was like 22, but whatever. They're all on here except for, at the time that I made these, I didn't include any of the content that was released on DVD. So things like DuckTales and Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, some of those shows had DVD releases. And so any of those episodes that were released on DVD from Disney, I did not include in here, because why would I want them when I have the actual copies released from Disney? But even with that taken away, I still have a lot of content. 15 discs, 15 Blu-rays total. So certainly I recorded a lot of stuff. Here is the first discs 1 through 5 pack. Did a red background. And I got TJ Detweiler there on the spine. It's not really focusing, but yeah. And then here's the back. It has 118 episodes of just random Disney shows. You can see the list of all of the shows included in these 5 discs here. So we got some of the newer ones, at least for 2003 standards, like Lloyd in Space, 101 Dalmatians. But also the older ones like Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers and Goof Troop, New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. So during that time, I kind of got the mix of old and new, but of course, for today's standards, all of these are old. So we'll go ahead and open this up, and I even made these fancy episode guides. So like, I showed you my very first Lloyd in Space, which technically you could call Volume 1. Those are all the episodes. And then we continue on to the first one, and just so on. So you can see all of these episodes that I have on each Blu-ray, and it has the running time and everything. So really tried my best to make these as quality as possible, because I thought that these would be the end of it. But I ended up doing something else even after these, which again I'll talk about. Yeah, here's disc 1. There's the Blu-ray. Filled it to the max. And we got disc 2 and disc 3. Disc 4 and disc 5. And next up is the green background, disc 6 through 10. So here's the front cover. And then the spine, I got Max from Goof Troop there. There's a look at the back, got 114 episodes on these 5 discs. And those are the shows, 43 hours, 7 minutes, 54 seconds. Certainly a lot of time. And then it's the same kind of thing. I got these inserts that I made with all of the episodes on each disc. So, you know, if I'm ever like wondering which cartoon do I want to watch, I can take a look at these and just choose the disc from there. So I got disc 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Finally, we get to the last one. The best of Toon Disney Channel 11 through 15. So these are the final Blu-rays. And there's the spine, got the blue background, and I got Lloyd there from Lloyd in Space. And yeah, again, there's the list of all the cartoons on these 5 discs. 110 episodes, 41 hours, 33 minutes, 2 seconds. Got the inserts again. And I got the discs, so 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So for those of you who wanted to see my homemade Blu-rays that I made, here is the collection. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have done that super long intro with the VHS tapes, but I just did it anyway so you guys have the backstory. These are the Blu-rays that I made homemade. I don't think I'm going to make any more, just because I've already taken care of all the VHS tapes that I want to take care of. So don't think I'm going to make any more Blu-rays. And the other reason for that too is that very recently, actually, like within this past year, I got this device, the Elgato Game Capture HD. Well, what this thing does is it lets you hook up a video game system like PS3, or you can even go backwards to retro ones like PS1, whatever you can have the hookups to. And basically what it does is it hooks it up to your computer so you can capture the video of that. So people who do things like video game reviews online or do gameplay videos where they talk while they're playing video games and then upload it to YouTube, they use things like this to record their content, especially if they're doing older video game systems. I mean, a lot of them probably do emulation too and stuff like that. There's a lot of tricks that I don't really know about because I don't do that much, but I bought this Elgato Game Capture HD because I might do that in the future, but more importantly, you can use this to hook up a VCR and capture all of your old VHS tapes and make digital copy files of them onto your computer. So you can see it's got HDMI in and out, it's got a USB thing here, and it's got an audio video in. So like when I did it with my VCR, I used this AV in, hooked up a VCR to that end, and then USB out to my computer, connected it, and then there's software that this thing uses, and then it just captures the video. And so what I did is I did all of my old VHS tapes, all the content on these Blu-rays here, and I made digital files on my computer. And they're actually better quality than these Blu-rays because the content on the Blu-rays had to be compressed a little bit. So they're a little bit more pixelated and everything like that. They would be fine if I didn't have the option for this digital copy thing, but what I did is I just made these digital files, and now it's really awesome because I just loaded them all onto an external hard drive, and that external hard drive is connected to my TV, and so all I got to do is navigate the menus with my TV remote, click on an episode I want to watch, and I can just watch it. So all the stuff that's on my old VHS tapes I now have on an external hard drive connected directly to my TV, so it's really nice. And so that's the final result. Yeah, and basically anybody out there who has a whole bunch of VHS tapes, maybe some that didn't get DVD releases, or if you have home videos, I would highly recommend something like this, the Game Capture HD. I think they also make one that's a little bit cheaper and specifically for doing VHS to digital copy or whatever. But I got this Game Capture one just because someday down the line I might do gaming stuff as well, so I wanted to have this. Yeah, so really cool stuff that you can do these days with upgrading your VHS tapes. And that was just the big thing for me making these Blu-rays, was that I didn't want, VHS tapes degrade over time, and I didn't want to lose my content that I worked so hard to record when I was in 6th grade. So I did all these things, and now I have digital copies, and I also have these homemade Blu-ray copies. So to those who asked, I made this really long video for you guys. It was only like 1 or 2 of you, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a really long video, probably longer than it needed to be, but whatever. It's done, so hope you enjoyed. That's going to be it for this one, and we'll see you guys in the next video.